to my channel. Today I am doing a video which is inspired by one I saw Zoella do, I think like last week I think it was, and it was basically a makeup look, but she called it a makeup show and tell, which I so much preferred because I really don't like watching makeup looks. I find them so boring, and it's just like someone putting the makeup on and I'm like, I want to hear about the product, I want to know why it's good or why you're using it, and I also want to hear like the story behind your decision. Like, I know this sounds like really kind of random, but anyway, I just preferred it, so I thought I would do my one that way too. This is kind of my everyday makeup look. Well, it actually definitely is now, but the products I use came from like a need rather than like a want for the products, if you get what I mean. So basically I was at work, I'd been working all day, I was like sweaty and horrible and like basically not wearing any makeup, and I got a text being like, hey, do you want to come with me for some drinks and meet a bunch of people and all stuff like this, and I was like not looking like this isn't a good first impression. So I was like, I'll go to Boots or Superdrug on the way, pick up some things and just make myself look a bit more first impression presentable. So that's what I did. I went into Superdrug, I didn't want to spend too much money, so I was like, oh, I'll spend about like £25 and just get some things to make myself look a bit better. And I ended up getting a bunch of things, and these things have actually made their way into kind of my everyday makeup because I actually loved quite a lot of them. And also I just thought it'd make quite a good video because the things I picked up were completely first impression, like I'd never used them before, and also I was deliberately trying to get things with built-in applicators, meaning I actually got to test out the applicators as well, because obviously I didn't have time to go home and get my makeup brushes and apply it all, so I kind of just made do with one specifically designed for that reason. So it means if you're ever in this situation, which I don't know if this is just something I've done, but if you're ever in this situation, this might actually be quite helpful. Starting off, I didn't have a foundation or anything with me, but my skin was kind of the main issue, like I was just this sweaty mess. But I also didn't want to go buy a foundation because foundations are quite expensive. I'm quite fussy with them because I am so pale. I can't really buy many on the high street anyway. So I decided just to pick up concealer. This is actually one I've had a lot before and I spoke about before, and it's the collection Lasting Perfection. Is that what it's called? Lasting? Yeah, Lasting Perfection Concealer in Fair. And I really like the coverage of this. It's very, very high coverage, so I thought I could substitute this for like my foundation. So just managed to cover a lot of my face, like mainly under my eyes and any greasy spots in my T-zone, and I thought if I kind of put this on I could blend it out with my fingers really well and have kind of the high coverage of a foundation without having to spend my money on one. It worked perfectly, so yeah, this is one of my all-time holy grail perfect products. Next I picked up this, which is the Rimmel Last and Finish Powder Foundation. I deliberately picked up this because it said powder foundation, so I was like, it's going to help me with the whole coverage of not buying a foundation, but mainly because it had this massive mirror underneath it, and it also had a sponge in there, so I was like, okay, this kind of helps with application, I can see what I'm doing, I can use this for the rest of my face. I don't love it, if I'm honest. Like, it worked for what I needed it to. It was great, like, to have the little sponge in there. I prefer applying my foundation or powders or like things like that with sponges anyway. But it's not a powder foundation, it is just a powder. So it kind of did the job of kind of mattifying my face and getting rid of like the sweaty look I had going on, but I wouldn't say it's a foundation even a little bit. So on my eyes I had the Revolution Redemption Palette Iconic 3. This is my favourite everyday palette. I just used, oh, I can't open it. I just used this one here, which you can see I use a lot because I've actually like hit the pan on it, and also this one in my creases. It's kind of my everyday look anyway, and this palette's only £4, so it's kind of the best one for this kind of drugstore look as well. I did already have this on my eyes, but this would have been what I picked up if I did actually need it. So yeah, this is really good. I would really recommend this. So this product I actually had in my bag at the time because I take this everywhere with me. This is my, if I was stuck on a desert island, could only have one product with me, this would be the one. It is the Collection Eyebrow Kit. I use this for both my eyebrows and for my eyeliner as well. And the little brush inside this is actually really good. Before I kind of got my Zoeva brushes at Christmas, I was actually just using the little brush that came in this because it does such a perfect job. So that's another reason why it's one of the ones I have with me every day, because the applicator is just going to like work perfectly. I only use this really, really, really dark shade at the end, which is basically a black. It's kind of the perfect shade for my eyebrows because I have really black, dark roots generally, and I kind of don't really have eyebrows. There's not really eyebrows there. I know in the kind of cutaway it looks like I have, but I did put a little bit of product in there because you just don't understand how much I don't have eyebrows. I'm like a little alien face. This kind of just makes me look like I have them, so I absolutely love this. And as I said, I use it as my eyeliner as well. I just use the same brush, I just go across my lid, because basically I don't really like liquid eyeliners or pencil eyeliners. One, I feel like pencil eyeliners drag too much and it's just really uncomfortable, and liquid eyeliner is just too bold and too in your face for like my everyday look. So I always use this to kind of blend across the bottom of my lid and make my eyes look a bit more defined, and I've been using this for months and months and months. I then have the Collection Contour Kit. This is the best thing I picked up. This I've been using every day since. I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette, and I also have the Revolution dupe for that same palette, which I absolutely love, but this I've been using so much more because it's so much more compact, and it's also got the perfect shades. This is such a perfect contour shade for pale skin. It just kind of looks really quite natural, but also gives you that kind of strong line that you need, and this highlight is also really good. It's really natural, it's got the shimmer to it, but it is kind of slightly more matte, so it's not too over the top and it's not too in the face for the everyday look. This was really cheap as well. I think it was something like $2.99, so I picked this up because of the price, but I will continue to use this because this has been the best thing that kind of came from this situation. And then on my lips I used the Rimmel Kate Moss lipstick in number 45. This is my go-to everyday shade. I did buy this that day even though I already own it, but I knew I would still use it because it is my favourite shade. It just looks like this. It's a very kind of nudie natural shade, but it is actually quite glossy on your lips. So as I said, I was already wearing some things on my face and mascara was one of them. I personally am not someone that can reapply mascara without completely taking it off, so whatever's on my eyelashes is what's staying on all day. I have really kind of straight short eyelashes, so mascaras don't actually do a massive thing for me, so as long as something's on my eyes I don't really care what it is. But the one I was wearing was the Maybelline Lash Sensations mascara, which I know a lot of people love and rave about. Personally on me I don't think it's the best, because I think maybe I should be using more of a lengthening one because I find this is a bit clumpy, but it is the one I was wearing and it is the one I'm using for this makeup look. The next thing I picked up was the Revlon Marvelous something or other, number 3 Revlon blush. I actually picked this up because of the applicator that came with it. It's like a small little blush brush that's kind of had a flat edge, so I thought, okay, that's going to be good to do my contour line, and then I can use it for my highlight, and then I can go in and use my blush and use it for that. The brush actually did a perfectly fine job for what I needed it to do. Every day I would actually use obviously my proper pretty makeup brushes, but like on the go it was such a good little brush. I also really love this colour. I just picked it up because it looks similar to one that I use in one of my Revolution palettes every day, but I've actually been using this so much more because it's out, it's in front of me, and it's like this one small compact, so I've actually been using this every day as my blush since that moment as well, so another little win from the high street. So this is the finished look that I have done, and here's the cheesy looking around, trying to look all cute, trying to be like, oh, this is my makeup, and then I got a foot cramp and ruined the whole thing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're not already. I have new videos every week, and I will see you again soon. Bye!